Hi, my name is Achim Schlöffel from InnerSpace Explorers, and today I want to show you how to set up a single regulator, DIR style, with a long hose and a backup regulator on a necklace. And therefore we have the components already here. We use a brand new Mark 21 Scuba Pro first stage, which basically comes with two head ports. One is closed and one where you can attach a hose. So we installed this one because this is where our long hose goes. And then we have two S600 second stages, an SPG with glass, no plastic, and a set of brand new MyFlex hoses, some basic tools, Boltsnaps, Bungee, ready to go. Alright, the first thing is that we detach the original hose that comes with the Scuba Pro first stage. Therefore you can either use a pipe wrench or the proper Scuba Pro tool. So we use the Scuba Pro tool and open this one up, take the hose off and put it aside. And then we have a look at our first stage, and as I said, we use the head port for our long hose. So we have to open this one up, and we use the left side for our SPG, and we use this one for our inflator, and we use another one for the backup regulator. Alright, so let's start with the long hose. The long hose is 7 feet or 2 meters and 10 and goes on the head port. We use a number 14 spanner to tighten the hose, and we continue with the backup regulator hose, which is 56 centimeters or 22 inches, and that goes on the right side of the first stage. Again, 14 spanner, tighten it. Next thing is the inflator hose, again 22 inches or 56 centimeters. So we screw that one in. And tighten it. So the last thing we need is our SPG hose, which is 60 centimeters, 24 inches, and it goes on the left side of our first stage. And it's tightened down. Okay, so let's go to the second stages. We start with the long hose. Make sure the O-ring is fine, there's grease on it. Put it on hand tight, and then use a number 17 spanner to avoid it from getting untied. And the same thing goes for the backup regulator. Inspect the O-ring, screw it on, and tighten it down. Okay, this leaves us with the SPG. The SPG has a swivel which needs a little bit of grease. So put the grease on it and then insert it in the SPG. A little bit of grease on the other side, and then screw it in the hose, hold the SPG and tighten it down. Alright, okay, so we have three things left: the bungee cord and the bolt snaps. So let's start with the bungee cord that goes on our backup regulator. I've prepared that already. You take it around your neck. It should be around that length here. And the first thing we do is we make an 8 knot on each side. So you make the knot and then you tighten it down as much as you can. And to prevent that from opening up, you cut off the excess and then burn down the end. Same thing on the other side. Tighten it down. Cut the excess and burn it down. Okay, that was too much. So once more, cut the excess, burn it down, and you're good to go. Now that's the backup regulator. It has one of those special tie wraps that Scuba Pro uses. So we have to open up this one, either with a screwdriver. I take the pair of scissors, which works as well. And then you have this piece, which can go away. You take a classical tie wrap, put it around the mouthpiece, and then you place the bungee over the mouthpiece under the tie wrap, and then you tighten the tie wrap, and then you can actually pull that one close. And now it's important to cut this one with a sharp knife and not with a scissor, to not have a sharp edge here. So something like a carpet knife is good for that. Just make sure you don't cut your fingers. And now you have a nice smooth edge and cannot cut your dry gloves or something like that. Alright, so the final step now is the bolt snaps. We start with the one on the SPG, which is the big one. Therefore we need a little bit of cave line. Make sure the end's not going up. Make a loop, take it through the eye of the bolt snap, over the snap itself, and pull it close. And then you have this groove here on the SPG, and this is where the line goes. So you wrap it around once, back through the eye, and the second time. And then look what we have here. We come on the right and on the left side of it and make a knot over those wrappings. And this one we pull really tight and make a second one on it. And this is actually what stabilizes the entire system. And now you cut off the excess material here. Those can go away. Take the lighter and burn down those ends all the way down to the knot, and then press it onto the knot to prevent it from opening when it gets wet. So that's done. It's nice. Now we have the small bolt snap that goes on our primary regulator. It should be around one hand away from the second stage. So first of all, when I breathe it, I can easily grab the hose to clip it off. The second thing is, when it's attached to the D-ring, I still have enough space on the regulator so I can breathe from it, and it's not super tight where I cannot reach it. The way of attaching it is very similar to what I just did with the SPG. Again, a bit of K-line. And go through the eye, over the snap, tighten it, and then you go around there at least 2 times, which means 4 reps. Again, much nicer if you can do this with a helping hand next to you. Yeah, always works very nice when you're in front of the video. Alright, and then again, left and right of the rep, come up here and make a nice tight knot right over the rep, and the second one to form a cross knot. Tie it down as much as you can, cut off the excess material, and then burn down the leftover. And press it on the knob to make sure it's not opening up when you go in the water with it. Alright, so that turned out really nice. As you can see, one hand in between, can easily grab it, can easily clip it on, and it's very handy. Okay, a lot of people ask why we put the long hose on this side here. I will show you in a second. When you have by the way, this one can go because we definitely don't want the dust cap in the water. So now when you look at it, it's a very nice and clean setup, because this one goes to the front and it's a short hose, so it's not sticking around. That goes over your shoulder to your inflator. This goes down to your hip D-ring, and this one goes behind your shoulder all the way down to your hip, where it goes either around the light canister or the knife sheath, and then comes back up around your neck. So it's a very streamlined configuration. When you put the long hose on one of those on the side, it allows you to put the first stage on like this. Then you have the long hose going out there, which forms a loop over your shoulder, which you don't want. So that's a much more streamlined way of attaching it. Alright, so we're done. This one's ready assembled, and we can go for a dive.